Welcome to the High Ticket Success Podcast, where premium coaches, consultants, and advisors come for bold strategies, big breakthroughs, and real results. I'm your host, Dave DeBoe. Hey, gang, welcome back. Another episode of the High Ticket Success Podcast. Today, our special guest, very, very special guest, Mr. Tom Poland, is zooming in from the other side of the globe. I believe it's New Zealand, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Across the ditch is a little place called Australia.
Oh, you're in Australia. I apologize.
Yeah,
I always insult.
I was born and buttered in New Zealand, but I moved here for more sunshine literally on a place called the Sunshine Coast in Australia.
Perfect. Well, there you go. Kiwis get their noses out of joint being called Aussies. Aussies get their nose out of joint being called.
I got both passports, so you can't possibly.
Yeah, so it's kind of like Canadians and Americans, but yeah, we get it. Anyhow, I've known Tom for a number of years now. I was trying to think. I think I first came across you in 2017, found or heard about this amazing book called Leadsology, The Science of Being in Demand. I said, get me some of that. So I got me some of that, got the book, loved it. Found Tom, ended up joining his coaching program, learned a lot about OPN, other people's networks. That's Tom's terminology for things. And Tom, you might be pleased to know you actually were the inspiration for me starting my first podcast, the Property Profits Real Estate Podcast, in 2018.
Hang on, don't blame me. Don't blame me.
I do blame you. And we're like 1,200 episodes in on that show.
Incredible. It's such a fantastic way to establish rapport and respect, relatability and reciprocity with your guests, who in turn are influencers.
Exactly.
Plus, it can be fun, and hey, you get good-looking guys like us on your show. What's not to like?
It's hard to believe how many benefits there are. That's for sure. So Tom, let's talk a little bit about yourself. So, for folks that aren't familiar with you yet, maybe tell us a little bit about. We'll get into the backstory in a second, but first and foremost, who is it that you serve primarily, and what results do you focus on getting them?
Right. Well, I'll start with the end. We're very, very focused on new client generation. It's the pointiest, most measurable, most accountable end in any business. I mean, we can have opinions about branding or colors or websites or anything else, but bankable results at the end of the day. That's critical, because if you don't get that, you've got no business. And yes, we want to help people and serve people. Our ideal clients are typically small business owners. If we have a forte, it's those people who don't have a physical product, who have some intellectual property: coaches, consultants, teachers, trainers, speakers, authors, and so on. So but that's what we do, and our job is to work with our clients to set up systems so that they can generate a predictable, keywords emphasizing here, flow of high quality new client inquiries pretty much week in, week out. That's what we do. We can start with people by generating new client leads, if you like, on a one-on-one basis, networking meetings or etc. But eventually we want the whole thing to be systemized, automated, predictable, with a minimum input from our client side and maximum outflows from the new client inquiry side.
Yeah, exactly. That's beautiful. And I love the whole other people's network idea. That's why I started my podcast, kind of piggybacking on yours. Oh, there you go. A whole new book.
Wrote the book on it. Yeah.
Now, is that before or after you did this one?
Oh, that's well after. Yeah, I think there's 4 books in between.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So there you go. I got to go buy some more of your books there, Tom. So yeah, I love that whole idea. That's why I started the podcast, piggybacking on exactly what you're doing with your show as well, which was, hey, connect with thought leaders in your space and start the relationship and see if there's some sort of a promotional or cross promotional opportunity there. In my case, it was in the real estate niche. But yeah, definitely works very, very well. So you've been doing this for quite some time, Tom. Tell us a little bit about how you got in the whole. I'm not even sure what you call yourself, a coach, a consultant. How do you identify?
I call myself a teacher. I know it's not a fashionable thing to do, but I teach stuff. I create content. I figure stuff out. There's nothing special about my IQ. I can certainly tell you that, and my wife will confirm.
Mine
My
does all the
parents,
time.
if they were still alive, would be saying, "Amen to that, brother." But I'm just a slow plodding observer of reality. And I'm a slow learner. I don't say that with any modesty. It's just a fact. But I do observe reality, and I hate wrinkles. So I
Mm.
have to iron out every little wrinkle has to be ironed out. So what? And part of this is because my wife suffers from Asperger's. Now, as I explained to my friend, she doesn't have Asperger's. She just suffers from it. I'm the guy who's got it. And part of that is we like predictability, and we like to know, at the start of the day, what's for dinner at the end of the day, and we
Mm.
want to have this, we want to have everything smooth. We don't like stuff that's not streamlined and smooth and predictable and I dotted and T's crossed. So that's the makeup. That's my mentality. It's just what I do. I don't have to try hard to do it. It's just what makes me comfortable. So that's an important introduction to say that everything that we've developed in terms of the intellectual property has been born out of that need to have predictability, reliability, even to the point of being boring. I'd rather have great results and be bored than be
Oh,
excited and have no bank account balance.
exactly. I've learned
Uh,
that the hard way
so
over years for sure.
yeah. So
That
I
is beautiful.
look. I've been in sales and marketing for almost 50 years now. But this whole OPN thing, where you get scalable lead generation for virtually zero cost, pretty good combination, high
Mhm.
quality, I should say, and we can unpack how we filter prospects, etc. This started in 1995 when I launched a new business. It was a 3-year business education program. I saw a gap in the market. We had the MBA, but that was, the marriage break agreement. Um, it wasn't really suited for small businesses. It was designed for corporate executives, and probably
Right.
did a very good job for that. But there was no curriculum-based program around for small business owners. There was ad hoc stuff you could get from the local chamber of commerce or institute management or something. But so I started that and took it global. It did really well. Got to 7 figures, and it was fantastic. It was life changing for people who came in because we not only taught them about marketing and management and leadership, we taught them about meditation and
Mm.
health and relationships and emotional well-being. So it was a very holistic program. Now, the reason I mentioned that is when I launched, I knew enough to know that I didn't know a lot
Hmm.
about
Hmm.
marketing. So I really made a commitment to get into marketing. And I was fortunate to come across some work by Jay Abraham who talked about host beneficiaries.
Oh,
And if
man,
you Google
beautiful.
host beneficiary and Jay Abraham, you'll see a lot of hits. And I took that concept and I sort of made it my own, over a period of some years, with full credit to Jay because he was the guy who laid down the foundations. And there's another guy called Chris Newton here in Australia with the results, and he refined it, and I refined it more. And what I ended up with is this thing called, I call it other people's networks. And so if you think of it like this, you can go fishing with your rod and your reel, and you can drop your line in the pond, and hopefully you catch some fish, or you can hop on someone else's trawler and share in the catch.
And throw out the net. Exactly.
Yeah, their net, by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Yeah. Grab from their
So
net. Exactly.
So what that looks like in very specific terms is other people have email lists of subscribers who have joined that list for the same reason they might buy from me.
Hmm.
And that's the essence of it. That's the essence of it right there. So it's not just about finding people who have email subscriber lists with your target market in them. They have to have joined the list for a reason why they might buy from you also. So that alignment of reason is the number one thing that almost everyone in joint ventures, notice I'd say it's almost everyone, 97% of people, even those who are doing professional joint ventures, I call it OPN. It's similar, but it's not the same because we have specific IP. But that's what 97% of them miss is they will do cross promotions with big lists, perhaps, of subscribers who are their ideal client, but if they haven't joined for the same reason. So let's say small business owners are someone's niche, and they come across someone who has a great list of small business owners. But let's
Right.
say this person that we're talking about has a marketing service they want to provide, but the people joined the list for weight loss.
They happen to be
Complete
business owners. Yeah.
complete disconnect of the reason why they joined that list and what you can offer for them. So they've got it. So our best OPN partners, these are people who promote a free thing that we offer.
Hmm.
on our behalf, and we reciprocate. And we one of the questions we need to get to is why would people do that? And what
Yeah.
if I don't have a list? And we unpack all of that as well because you have to get into the game. So we look for people because we're small businesses and we're all about client generation. We look for people who are targeting small businesses, anything to do with sales and marketing, not leadership, not recruitment, not inventory, not KPIs or anything like that. Just sales and marketing, because people have joined their subscriber list for the same reason they might buy from us. Critical.
Okay, so that does get to the next question is, okay, so if you're really focusing on people that are have lists of your ideal avatar who are offering very similar goods or services to you, then the question becomes, why the heck would they let you scoop in
Yeah,
and grab a bunch
yeah.
of their business?
Yeah, great question. Other questions we need to do is how do you find them? How do you approach them? All that sort of stuff. But first of all, your question. Uh, so the people, so lead technology marketing is all predicated on one simple principle, is that we want to be putting an offer in front of people that we're very confident are already looking for that offer. So no convincing, which is selling,
Hmm.
just confirming.
So
So that applies.
they've got the pain, and our thing alleviates that pain. What
That
we
they're looking for our solution. They don't
they're
know
actively
me,
looking for
my
the solution.
brand, but they're looking. Germans call it the Hintergedanke. The thoughts at the back are always ticking over. Need more clients. Need more clients. Got client uncertainty. Got
Hmm.
the stress around clients. And they see our offer coming on. It's like the first time I saw an iPhone. My son fished out his phone and started flicking through photos, and I didn't know I needed it, but my God, when I saw it, I knew I needed it, sort of thing. So that they and this is really important because we don't want to waste our life trying to convince people that they need something that they're not looking for. So
Okay.
we do the due diligence up front. Now, this applies to prospects and clients, but it also applies to marketing partners.
Hmm.
Getting to your question, but this background is important. We want, therefore, to be in front of potential marketing partners who are already looking for the opportunity to do some cross marketing.
So
Now,
they've already had some experience with it. They know what
yeah,
it's all about. You don't
and,
have to
and
educate them.
and it's the easiest thing they want to find these people. But just if you're marketing through a podcast, just Google podcast and then a description of your target market, small business owner or speakers or whatever, weight loss or
Hmm.
whatever relationship improvement, whatever it happens to be. It doesn't have to be B2B, interior design, whatever it happens to be. And you'll find probably hundreds of thousands of hits. So people who are on podcasts, so they're getting their message about their magic out to the market. So then we know they're looking, then take their name and Google with the word webinar. See if they're running webinars. So we've got
Hmm.
someone who's appearing on podcasts, they're running webinars. We know that they are actively looking for marketing opportunities. They go into a
Smart.
proprietary spreadsheet that we have. There's 5 checkout, you remember them, 5 knockout factors, and so on. Now, these people, to answer your question now, finally, these people have a list of people, subscribers, they're actively marketing, and they're mature enough in their marketing efforts to know that they have people on their list that will never buy from them, but they might buy from me.
Hmm.
And I know I have people on my list that, just don't want to deal with a bull dude, I suppose. I don't know. Can't understand the Australian accent. I don't know what it is. But they will buy from them. And so
Right.
we've proven this hundreds and hundreds of times over. So if you're sitting there thinking, well, they won't want to deal with me because I'm small or because I'm just going to get my face back in focus. Although some people would say it's probably better out of focus.
The
Uh,
calculator's looking good.
okay. So hang on, there we
There you
go.
go.
So yeah, what I'd say to folks is just trust me on this. The most important thing about marketing is to get started. Don't let your fears and your beliefs, which are often false beliefs, hold you back by thinking no one's going to want to do any marketing with me. I'm too small. I don't have a list or whatever else that happened. Let me assure everyone listening to this. No one was born with an email list. Okay, so you have to start somewhere. That's the thing,
Right.
and you start with a small list. I started OPN back in, so started forming the principles and how it all worked back in, wow, 1995.
95. Yeah, 95,
Yeah,
you said.
that's
Yeah.
95. Based on the work of J. Abraham, Chris Newton, I formalized it as something I was teaching versus something I was using in my own business, but something I was going to take to the marketplace back in, I guess, 2008, something like that.
Okay.
Um, so, so over that time, we've done a lot of partnerships, and we've proven that the point I was going to make is back in 2008 when I started teaching this stuff, I had 8 people on my subscriber list. I'd sold a business, and with that, I'd sold my email list, my entire
Mm,
client base. So I started with 8 clients who wanted to carry on with me on a private basis. I started with doing swaps with small email lists. Someone had 20, 30, 200 people on their email list. They'd promote my free webinar back as it was back then. I'd promote theirs, and we'd sit down and do a debrief afterwards to make sure they were happy with my efforts, minuscule might have been. And if I wasn't batting at a high enough level, then I would say, well, look, I want to make this up to you. I want to do some more promotions for you. You don't have to reciprocate. I want you to walk away from this arrangement happy that we've worked together. So
nice.
start.
Yeah, that's you start with somebody that's more or less at a similar level to you. You're not trying to go for the huge names right off the get-go.
No.
What do you because you're so attuned to the market and this is what you help people do, uh, what have you seen is working well these days for reciprocal things? Is it still
Okay.
webinars? Is it PDFs? Is it books? Is it all of the above?
Yeah, it's a really, really great question. So I tell you what we're doing right now, which we needed to pivot because during COVID, the only thing everyone had was webinars. There were no conferences, there was no public speaking. Public speaking, by the way, to the right audience is still the most productive lead generation you're going to get. It's better than books. It's better than anything. But getting the gigs is really, really hard.
Mhm.
And so invariably you end up on this, roller coaster of revenue because you get a gig and you do a good talk and you do the feedback form right and you pick up clients. Terrific. But I would not base my financial future on something that's so lumpy. The
Mhm.
roller coaster. You're up the top, you're screaming down towards the bottom. The clients are running out. You don't have another speaking gig coming up. Now, I've done over 500 speaking gigs, so I know, they can be very profitable. But I got to the point where I was too dependent on, the booking agents who booked speakers, and then people started saying, "Well, yeah, you can speak on our stage, but it's going to charge you $5,000." So that's why I thought, bugger it, I'll get my own audiences. Have my and I didn't want to travel. I'd done a lot of traveling, done a lot of speaking around the world. I just wanted to sit here in paradise. We've got this private spa retreat next to the lake and the Sunshine Coast. I don't get out much. I don't want to. I walk the dogs around the lake and that's about it. Go and play a game of tennis back home again. So I didn't want to do that. So what we did is we started developing webinars, and during COVID, it just took off. As I said, no one could do anything else. And then after COVID, it was kind of like you got as much response as if you dropped a dead cat. There wasn't much bounce. So we had to pivot, and I think this is an important level: is that the
Yeah.
cheese keeps moving. If you haven't read the book "Who Moved My Cheese," get it and read it. It's really one of the most valuable books that you could ever read in your life, and business certainly, but if not your own life. The moral of the story is that things change. It's a story about two rats that go through a maze every day and get their cheese, and one day they go there and the cheese is not in the same place. And they have this argument about whether they should just keep doing the same thing and hope the cheese comes back, or whether they should find somewhere else. And so I won't spoil it for you. Go get the book. So the cheese moved.
Yeah.
People still registered for webinars, but they didn't turn up.
Hmm.
And the other thing that happened is that people were no longer sitting through a 1 hour webinar.
Right.
So what I developed was a hybrid approach where our partners promote a free book, a free download, a free PDF, a free cheat sheet. Folks, you don't have to write a book for this. It can be a one page, as long as it's valuable
Hmm.
and it's easy and simple. I call it short, simple, shiny. That's what you start with. Partners promote. That's easy for the partner to promote that. Here's in our case, it's here's a free best-selling book in PDF form. Go get it, Tiger, because you're going to discover all these things. Click, bang. So once they've downloaded the book, they get an invite to a 14-minute on-demand webinar.
Hmm.
Now
Nice.
that's the hybrid solution that we've come up with. It works well, and it works well for a couple of reasons. But let's unpack this a little bit because these are important details. First of the download is chock full of value. It's valuable content. You can't give away too much content. I did. I used to believe the thing that you just tell them what to do but not how to do them. It's kind of like a tease.
Hmm.
Um, but to get the full thing, you have to pay money. I kind of pivoted away from that and said, just give them a lot of value. There are folks out there that are broke that can't afford to work with you. Help them. And the ones
Oh,
that are smart and have money, they're your ideal clients. They're smart enough to know they'd be better off to getting you help to implement. So the first download is full of value. It's give away the farm. It doesn't really matter. Um, but then the second one, the bridge between the free download and the on-demand 14-minute webinar, under 15 minutes ideally, is now you've got the content. If you want to see how we work with our clients to implement this,
hmm.
come along to the 14 minutes. So it's a very different value proposition. You've established your brand in their brain as someone who gives value. If they bother to read the book or read the download or whatever, they go, oh, this is pretty good stuff. Most of them won't,
Hmm.
by the way. But you've still got their email address. They've still registered an interest. Be prepared to put a little bit of skin in the game to solve a problem that you can help them with. Second step over the other side of the bridge, the 14-minute on-demand e-webinar, is all about this is how we work with our clients to get these results. It's not a free content training session. It's for people who are serious about knowing how we work.
How it
And
works.
between
Okay.
at the end of the call to action from the book is the on-demand webinar. The call to action for the on-demand webinar is to book a time to talk about exploring options or working together.
Book a
So
call.
there's
Yeah.
more skin in the game required at each point. Between the on-demand webinar and booking the call, they know what our range of fees are. They can only book the call if they agree that they'll make a decision on the call, assuming they have all the information. We
Hmm.
back that up by saying if you, look, no is fine, yes is fine. We're just going to ask you to make a decision. If it's a yes, we're going to give you a discount code that'll expire at midnight in order to reward you for making a decision to work with us. That's
Smart.
the setup.
You tell them all of this ahead of time. So
We'll get all that all ahead of time.
yeah.
They come in with their eyes wide open. There's no sales ambush. There's no, oh, let's hop on a strategy call and then twist their arm to, well, if you don't buy now, the sky is going to fall in. What's your
Hmm.
plan B? Prices are going up, whatever. All that sort of a little bit of scarcity. You need
Hmm.
it. You need to give them some motivation to make a decision because most people just go away, think about it, and they don't actually think about it. They just get distracted with other opportunities and they can go on for years and even decades not making a freaking decision.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so that's the setup, and people probably want to rewind that and put it through AI or something to get it because that setup. The reason it works so well, Dave, is that the marketplace is divided into three categories: the seekers, the explorers, and the wanderers. The SO formula, probably remember that. The
Hmm.
seekers are 3% of your audience, so 3% of the people get exposed to that free book download. They want to buy. They see the opportunity. They're looking for it. The money's in the bank. They're ready. They're frustrated with what else they've tried. They want to buy. The explorers are 12% of your marketplace. They want 5 exposures to your brand. They'll download the book. They'll go to the webinar. They won't buy. They'll be on your list. They'll get some more good stuff. Eventually, they'll book a consult. They'll read every word on the sales page. They'll check you out on Google and social, whatever. And then eventually they'll buy. That's 12%. But they need 5 exposures to your brand. And we in ballpark figures, these are correct, by the way. They're not just plucked out of the air.
Yeah.
We've done the analysis on this. And so that leaves us with 85% that are wanderers that have no serious intention to buy right now, but they do recognize they have an issue and one day they intend to buy. So they'll all download the free example. Whereas it's only the explorers and seekers will go to the webinar at this point.
Right.
So if we just offer the webinar, we're losing up to 85% of our potential new subscriber
Hmm.
catch. So that's why we do the hybrid.
That's really, really smart. So just to recap, what I understood you to say is the initial thing that your partners promote is a free download, whether it's a actual book or a PDF or something like that, that provides value, provides an actual solution to a problem. The goal of that is to get people to register for an on-demand webinar, short and sweet, less than 15 minutes, that walks people through exactly how you work with clients. And then when they've booked in for the webinar, between the time they book in and actually show up, you drip some content on them, letting them know uh, basically the price range of your services, letting them know that you're going to be asking them for a decision on the call, yay or nay, either one's okay. If it's a yay, you're going to give them a little bit of scarcity there. You let them know they're going to get a discount code that expires at midnight the day of the call. And yeah, and that you know what your percentages are of the people that opt in. Out of 100 people that opt in, 3 are going to be hot to trot and probably going to sign up very quickly. There's
Yeah.
going to be another, I think you said 12 that they're going to need to sit on it, hear a little bit more from you. And there's 85% that may or may not at some time become clients.
Yeah, so just a couple of clarifications. So the qualifications of this is the price point and you need to be ready to buy, that happens between the on-demand webinar and the consult. When they go to book it, we lay it
Right.
out for them. This is what's going to happen on the call. This is our price range, and check these boxes to confirm that you're ready to make a decision. If you have all the information on the call, we will give you an incentive to make a yes decision, but no is fine as well. So it's all laid out for them, and it's a matter of a bait trail. They don't get all that information up front.
Mm-hmm.
We drip feed it when they're ready for the next part. We just give them as much as they need to know to be educated, to be motivated, and to be qualified to go to the next step.
So as we're wrapping up here, Tom, I do have a few questions I think the listeners and viewers are going to be asking. So you teased us about how to find these ideal OPN partners. What are some quick tips about finding the kind of people that already have the audience that we're looking for?
Easiest thing in the world. Just do the search on Google, like I said before.
Mhm.
Google. Well, let's say someone's into I don't know, healthier relationships. Do couples, marriage, relationship webinar, couples, healthy relationship podcast.
Mhm.
And you'll find like a gazillion people that are actively marketing into that space. And we've talked before about it. So that's you found them. Now you have to qualify them. There's
Mhm.
5 knockout factors, as you may recall. Do they feature themselves on the website? If it's not a personality-led brand, then you're going to be dealing with a committee or
Mhm.
someone who's not proactively promoting themselves. Either way, we don't want to do that. Are they targeting your target market? Should be self-evident. Are they offering something that is aligned to the reason why people might buy from you? Are they running webinars? Are they appearing on podcasts? So there's 5 of those knockout factors. It's not that there's just one way to do this right. It's just that there's 7,000 ways to do it wrong. So there's like
And, and
7
and
variations of this.
yeah, and it really depends on what resonates with you and what you're comfortable, what kind of what you feel like you could be doing on a consistent
I
basis.
think I think I think that's really important. Your marketing should fit your ethics, your beliefs, your personality. For example, one of my clients, well-meaning clients, said, "Oh, look, I got this book, Talk Like Ted. You should get it." I said, "I'm not getting that book." I said, "Why not? It's a great book." I said, "I don't want to talk like Ted. I want to talk like Tom."
Hmm.
Right? So that goes to what you're saying is that your personality, whatever. If you're quiet, be quiet, but just amplify the quietness. If you like to have fun, amplify that. But your marketing needs to spotlight on your personality. You need to be more of whoever you are, not more of who Ted is like or whatever.
Exactly. No, very,
So,
very well
but
said.
but beyond this authenticity, and this is all important stuff, and it's in that book you held up before, The Science of Being Demand, part 10 of the model. Beyond that, you got to have stuff that's smart and that actually freaking well works. And unfortunately, it's the Mark Twain thing. It's not the things that we don't know that hurt us. It's the things we think we know that just ain't so.
Mm.
Underlining is don't do this on your own. If you've got the money to hire a Dave Dubow or a Tom Poland, for the love of God, do it, because you're going to save yourself years of frustration. You can listen to a podcast like this. Look, what this is like, it's like reading a book on the laws of playing tennis and going, got it. I'm going to enter the pro circuit.
Yeah,
It,
probably not. Probably not.
it's going to end in tears.
Yeah.
So it's the old thing. If you can afford to get help, get help. If you can't, get all the free stuff you can and do the best, because I've been
And
broke
take
twice in my
massive
life.
action. And take massive
Yeah,
action.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Take
either
massive
way.
action. Observe what's working. Not if someone says something in a book and your observational reality is that that's out of kilter, forget the book.
Hmm. Yeah. Good advice, Tom. Hey, this has been a blast. I'm sure lots of people are going to want to connect with you, find out more about what you do. Where should they go?
GetTom'sBook.com.
That's easy.
They'll
GetTomsBook.com.
get a free book, and then they get into the whole loop. Yeah, get Tom's book or get Tom's free book by the look of it. Either way, it'll take you to the same place. And actually, what we're featuring at the moment is other people's network books. So we do
Nice.
rotate the offer. So it really fits in well. So if you get the book, then you're going to get the invite to the e-webinar as well, the on-demand webinar, and you'll see the whole sequence, the whole flow. So you can use that as a swipe and deploy opportunity.
Love it. Love it. Tom, thank you so much for being on the show. This has been
Been a
fantastic
pleasure, Dave.
reconnecting with you. Thanks for sharing some of your wise wisdom. Always a pleasure.
It's been fun. Thanks.
All right, everybody, take care, and we will see you on the next one.
Thanks for listening to the High Ticket Success Podcast. Want to be featured? Share your story and inspire other premium coaches, consultants, and advisors? Apply now at highticketsuccesspodcast.com/guest.